everybody from the other room here too that wants to?
Yes.
We have to move. Okay. So what is this?
The pineal.
Pineal gland. Okay. And what hormone does it make?
Melatonin.
Melatonin. What does that do?
Circadian rhythm.
Circadian rhythms and maybe some other things we don't understand. And does it increase in the dark or decrease in the dark? Increases. So some people use it for sleep, for for jet lag. But what do some people suffer in the winter?
Seasonal affective disorder.
Seasonal affective disorder. Sad.
Sad.
So then you have to use artificial light that simulates daylight. Okay. So I don't think it's safe to be selling it in health food stores myself. Especially since one of my students flipped out at the time.
What?
And then this would be what? Pituitary gland, okay? Now there's an anterior and a posterior pituitary, okay? The anterior pituitary is what type of tissue? Glandulars, right. And the posterior pituitary is? Neural, okay? So you should be able to recognize the two in the slide.
Okay.
So how does the release of hormones come about through the anterior pituitary? What kind of, mainly? What controls the release of the hormones from the anterior pituitary? There's several things to do, but a major control. What causes the anterior pituitary to release its hormones?
The hypothalamus.
The hypothalamus partially.
Okay.
Okay, so, and is it humoral, hormonal, or neural?
Humoral.
No.
Hormonal.
Releasing hormones and inhibiting hormones, okay? And the posterior pituitary, what hormones does it make?
Oxytocin and ADH.
No, it doesn't.
And antidiuretic.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't make it, stores it. Hypothalamus makes it. Oh, it's a tricky question. Tricky
I
question.
have warned you how many times?
Tricky question.
I don't think it was too tricky when I warned you over and over again.
And then it's
I wasn't paying attention.
the neuron.
It comes down through the axon, stored at the end of the, in the axon terminals down there, the synaptic end bulbs. So a nerve message coming down, a neural message causes it to be released. Sort of like a neurotransmitter is being released, right?
Okay.
But their hormones travel through the blood. So that's neural. So you should be recognizing those two tissues. Now let's go back to the anterior pituitary. So it has many hormones it makes. Many of these are called tropins or tropic hormones. And let's just a list there, okay? And I gave you that list, okay? And what does that mean? It means it's a hormone that's released, causes the release of other hormones from other glands.
Yes.
So that would be, again, a hormonal control. So the anterior pituitary has a hormonal control over many other glands. So name me a hormone from the anterior pituitary.
Thyroid.
No.
FSH.
Thyroid stimulating.
TSH.
TSH. TSH.
Luteinizing hormone.
Okay, well, let's do one at a time. Thyroid stimulating hormone would do what then?
Stimulate the thyroid.
Stimulate the thyroid to release its hormones.
Yes.
Okay, then what was another one you said?
FSH.
FSH. Follicle stimulating hormone. What does it do?
Ovaries.
And the gametes.
To make it produce eggs, right?
And the gametes.
Not ovulation, no.
It produces
Produces eggs and follicle
testosterone.
stimulating, okay? Follicle stimulating, not estrogen, that's from the ovary.
Right, but it goes down there and then it causes estrogen and testosterone to then be released after.
Eventually. Okay. It also works on the testes to produce sperm. Okay. And it's the ovaries that will release estrogen and progesterone eventually. What's another hormone?
Prolactin.
Prolactin. What is the hormone?
Or breast.
Breasts make you milk the release. Okay.
Prolactin.
And so prolactin promotes milk secretion. Okay. What else do we have?
Growth hormone.
Huh?
GH.
Growth hormone.
Growth hormone. Okay.
Yeah, I said this.
Growth hormone does what? Along with the liver, actually.
Somatotropin, growth
The
hormone.
somatotropin makes you do what?
Grow.
Grow. And if you have too much as a child, what's going to happen? You're going to be
Giantism.
If you have too much as an adult,
Acromegaly.
acromegaly. If you have too little as a child,
Dwarfism.
dwarfism, pituitary dwarfism.
Yeah.
And you are same proportions, but just smaller, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's another hormone from the anterior pituitary?
ACTH?
ACTH, yes.
Yeah.
Adrenocorticotropic hormone.
Adrenocorticotropic.
What does that stimulate?
The adrenal gland?
Yeah, adrenal cortex.
Adrenal cortex, right?
Adrenal cortex. Adrenal cortex.
Okay, what else do we have from there?
GPA B flat. B flat. Luteinizing.
MSH, melanocyte-stimulating hormone.
yeah.
And we don't really know too much about that.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, what else is there? Is that it?
That's it.
No.
Luteinizing?
We talked about one.
No, we didn't do luteinizing hormone. What does luteinizing hormone have to do with?
That's something sexually reproductive, right, isn't it?
It stimulates the secretion
Ovulation.
of the estrogen.
Ovulation, okay? Luteinizing, okay?
It's the estrogen.
And secretion of testosterone by the testes, supposedly. Okay? Wait. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
For ovulation. Okay, yeah. Okay.
For ovulation.
Luteinizing hormone for
Ovulation,
ovulation.
So there's a lot happening here in the pituitary.
No kidding.
Okay?
A lot.
Kidding. Lot. Okay. What's the green thing in his neck? Thyroid. And if you have a lack of iodine, what do you get? Goiter.
Goiter.
Why?
T3, T4.
So it needs to bind it to the iodine. It's hormone, right? That it produces?
No, iodine's a part of the hormone.
Oh, sorry, a part of it.
Uh-huh.
So it keeps making it thinking that it needs the hormone, but there's a
Because
buildup.
of negative feedback, it keeps getting messages from the anterior pituitary, thyroid stimulating hormone, because the thyroid realizes there's not the hormone there, so it keeps stimulating the thyroid gland to make more, but it can't because it doesn't have the basic ingredient, or the basic ingredients. So that you get an enlarged thyroid gland called goiter. And then I talked about Graves' disease, a type of hyperthyroidism.
Hypothyroidism.
But a person with hyperthyroidism, give me some characteristics.
Weight loss.
Weight loss.
They get really tired.
Look like they're on crack.
They're tired so much.
Bulgy eyes.
You might get, if it's Graves' disease, then you get bulging eyes and a goiter, okay?
What? I'm just saying.
They get,
They look like they're on crack.
This means, thyroid hormones are for what, basically?
Thyroid hormones are for metabolism.
Metabolism.
So they have very fast metabolic rate. Now, actually, Mrs. Bush supposedly had Graves' disease, but it doesn't show as she wasn't skinny, exactly.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
And you said the dog too, right?
The husband, the wife, and there was something funny about the dog. I don't know what's trying to happen with the dog, but it's kind of weird.
Funny about that, huh?
I know.
It's kind of weird.
Even in the water down there.
Yeah, who knows? This is really when they were in the house, though. Okay. So, name me the hormones from the thyroid that have to do with metabolism.
The
T3, T4, triiodo,
Thyroid.
Yeah.
Thyroid is an amino acid, okay? And if you have a lack of the thyroid hormones, what's that called?
Hypo.
Thyroidism. It's really severe. It's called cretinism. Cretinism. Okay?
Cretinism.
And if you're an adult and have a lack of thyroid hormones, you're hypothyroid, what are you going to look like? No, that's wrong gland.
Sorry, say again?
A lack of thyroid hormones in an adult is called myxedema. So you're going to have a puffy face, and baggy face, and low metabolism rate, dry hair, lots of things, okay? Myxedema.
Myxedema.
In cretinism or hypothyroidism in a child, what's going to happen to them?
They won't grow as much.
They'll be short.
Also brain function,
Brain
mental
doesn't develop.
doesn't develop.
No, it's not true with thyroid hormone, but with growth hormone. It's true with thyroid hormones. You need thyroid hormone for proper brain development, but growth hormone is not necessary for that. In a thyroid deficiency, the child is short. What kind of proportions do they have?
They're off.
They're like a younger person's. Yeah.
They're what?
They're like a younger person's. Okay. Embedded in the back of the thyroid gland, and by the way, the thyroid gland, you see the thyroid globule in the middle, and the thyroid globule is made by follicular cells. Okay? And if the gland is actively secreting, the thyroid globule kind of pulls away from the sides and it's kind of scalloped. Okay? Now there's another hormone produced by what we call the
Parathyroid.
follicular cells or clear cells or
C cells.
C cells. What's that hormone?
Calcitonin.
Calcitonin.
Or
And
calcitonin.
what does that do?
For calcium.
Children that
For blood.
in children that makes it so they lay down more bone.
Yeah,
Yeah, for bone
in children,
growth.
if calcium is high, it makes the calcium go into the bone. Okay. No.
And that's excreted
I'll
by
see
the
what?
parathyroid.
Yeah, well,
Parathyroid.
it may be going
What are
down.
C cells?
Yeah.
Wait, did we say it's parathyroid or parafollicular cells of the
Parafollicular.
of the thyroid?
Yeah.
Not the parathyroid.
Now, the embedded in the back of the thyroid gland, though, are the parathyroids. You should be able to tell them because they're very cellular looking in the microscope. And they make a hormone called parathyroid hormone. Or parathormone. Okay?
I like that.
And it does the opposite of calcitonin. But it's not just active in
Calcium
children.
absorption, right?
It causes calcium to break down.
Oh, breakdown.
Okay, so if you don't have enough calcium in your blood, parathyroid hormone will take calcium from your bones. Also, there's other things, as far as whether you lose calcium through your kidneys or not, and GI tract. They kind of balance each other in children, but in adults, it's just the parathyroid hormone. What's this thing here? Thymus.
Butterfly shaped, right?
Kind of. Okay, two lobes. But you're thinking of thyroid as being butterfly shaped.
So the thymus is just below the thyroid?
The thymus, yeah, below. It's on the heart and going up into the neck, but you're not going to find it much except in children, because it shrinks down after puberty. It is involved in what?
That's an excellent question.
In the development of T lymphocyte. T like in thymus. T is like in thymus. Okay. The lymphocytes are coming from the bone marrow, but they go to the thymus to get their higher education, you might say. If they're DVC. Okay. So they, and we'll talk more about them when we get to studying tomorrow on the lymphatic system. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And so it continues to be active throughout your life. It probably slows down a lot after puberty. Okay, down in here, deep inside, I can see the spleen.
Okay.
And then underneath it, the lighter pink is the
Kidneys.
pancreas.
Pancreas.
Pancreas. What does the pancreas make? Insulin and
Glycogen.
glucagon.
Glucagon.
It makes other ones too, but we're just in my class just
Alpha and
the two.
beta.
Alpha cells make
Glucagon.
Beta cells make
Insulin.
And what are they important for?
Blood sugar.
Blood sugar.
Blood sugar regulation.
The sugar going into the cells or blood sugar levels. Okay. So if you have high blood sugar, what would you have secreted?
Insulin.
Because that would make more sugar go into the cells, etc. Okay. Do you need it for the brain?
Yes.
No. You do not need insulin for the brain.
But you need sugars for the
You
brain.
need sugar for the brain, but you don't need insulin for the brain. So that's what they showed you in the movie. When they had the little fish, they gave a lot of insulin, so much sugar went into the other cells, there was nothing left over for the brain. That's what they were trying to show you in that movie.
That's what that movie was about.
Yeah. Well, they had a big arrow.